We're going to be looking at the Cleveland Browns practice today as we are on Shedeur Sanders' watch. We have been on Shedeur Sanders' watch since rookie camp, taking a look at all his practice clips. We got more today, but before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at what's happening at practices all year long. Guys coming back from injuries, quarterback battles, guys climbing the depth chart. We're helping you with your fantasy team, setting lineups, finding guys off the waiver wire. A lot of videos coming at you every day. Click that button. Stop missing out. A little bit of news today. A little bit of it helping Shedeur as Quinshon Judkins. Apparently, it was kind of iffy, the words there, but could be back this week practicing sooner than later from what it sounds. That was broke by Mary Kay. You take that with what you want. But Judkins sounds like he's going to be back soon. That will help him if he gets the opportunity to be out there. Another thing, not significant news really football-wise. Dillon Gabriel switching to number 8. And the practice clips. Got a fair amount of them for you today. We're going to roll at them right now. And I got last week's clips. So first 2 to 3 minutes is Shedeur from today. A little bit with Flacco mixed in. The other quarterbacks. No news from practice as they're game planning for the week. There's no battle right now. You're seeing them toss the rock around. That's what we're seeing right now. Everything's looking smooth. And this is my first true look at these clips as we're getting them together, reviewing them together right here on the channel live. There's Flacco right there. Here's some more. Some play action. Getting the ball out. All in all, things looking smooth. If he had a bad practice, it would be noted. If he had a tremendous practice, it would be noted because they're trying to make money off the clicks. There he is right there to thrash. That's Flacco. I said this in another video. It was a fantasy football one on Quinshon Judkins. It was the last one I just did, actually. That I believe Flacco is either going to exceed expectations or be really, really bad. So I don't think you're going to get anything in the middle. I think he could either be the 2023 Flacco for the Browns. He could be that all year, or it could be tremendously bad with him. I think there's a chance he could keep this offense afloat to start the year. I think Flacco's had a good training camp. I think he's been stacking days pretty good. Shedeur's had a good training camp, minicamp, OTAs, rookie camp, wire to wire. Dillon Gabriel, not so much from what we saw from the clips and everything. He was running hot and cold. Let's just say that. He's had some very cold moments throughout training camp. He had some very cold moments. 20, 30% completion rate. He had 2 or 3 practices in a row. Then he got banged up. Or that was either after he got banged up. But still. Ball's getting batted down. OTAs. He had a run of some bad practices. Isaiah Bond, when they got him, they tried their very hardest to get him out on the field practicing. I think you're going to see Isaiah Bond out there sooner than later. Here's more Shedeur. It's looking solid. He's been looking solid. He's been looking good. Another note, this is more news, but it's been out there. They were at the Ohio State, Texas game, and we know who they were trying to watch. It wasn't Julian Sain. It was Arch Manning. Arch Manning, like I said, he's not coming out. Like a lot of people are thinking about, he's not coming out. I've said that prior. There's a reason why Quinn Ewers started over him. But still, they went to go check out Arch Manning. Honestly, I don't know if that performance moved them off what they were thinking on him, considering how slow they move. I know how everybody else is thinking, but I don't know how these Browns execs think, because they've been doing some crazy stuff. They don't move too quick. They don't move too quick when it comes to having to pivot. They do not. There's Shedeur getting that out. When I'm looking at next year's class, we got to watch the whole season play out. We got to watch that. That was a tight game, Ohio State, Texas. Got to watch that whole season played out. I do not look for Arch Manning to be out for next year's draft. They got 2 first-round picks. it's going to be a deeper quarterback class. It's presented that way. It's presented. That could change in a hurry. Another reason why they need to figure out what they got in these rookies. Another reason. It could change in a hurry. And also, if it's there, they got to know. Because if Shedeur's the guy, and they're not allowing him to get opportunities, or they're not allowing Gabriel to get pushed with the competition, because they could be hurting both quarterbacks. I got called a conspiracy theorist by somebody in the comment section, and all I was asking for is extra reps in practice. Like, there's people wanting him to start, wanting this. All I was asking for extra reps in practice for him to prove himself and to drive competition. That's all I asked for, is competition will really accelerate the development. And it's not like, hey, maybe Gabriel's just better, someone said. And then I'm thinking, dude, did you pay attention at all throughout training camp, OTA's rookie minicamp? Sit down, man. Sit down. Because Shedeur did not have one bad practice. Gabriel had multiple. And all we're asking for is reps. Just reps. Like, maybe a couple practices here, he got a series with the ones. And maybe another practice, maybe 2 or 3 after that, he gets another series with one. And you know how quick a series can be ran? Like, a couple minutes. A couple minutes. It ain't that big a deal. You just got to see what's happening. It ain't that big a deal. I ain't asking to start. I ain't making projections or anything. There's people doing that. This is pretty level-headed stuff. This is pretty level-headed stuff here. And I catch hate on both sides. There's the miss. There's the miss. Remember, the Gabriel sympathizers, or whatever you want to call it. I came out funny because my mouth's dry because this is like my 7th video of the day through all platforms. Said that was unfair. But I'm just showing everything because Shedeur's part of it. It was unfair. But that video of Gabriel that I posted about a month ago of him just missing and missing and missing. Where were you guys at there? Where was you guys at there? And you ignore that one when you're trying to argue in the comments. And all I'm asking for is extra reps. And then in training camp, you're like, I'm a Browns fan. You don't even know how long these practices last. You're not paying attention. You're looking at a guy that studies training camps and relays news. And I relay the news. Those training camps here for the Browns, they can be extended out 2 or 3 extra minutes to allow Shedeur to get extra reps of 2s and 1s. Especially after he ran hot. He ran hot. He ran hot and earned it. And Gabriel was running cold. And that should have been the catalyst for that. He had 2-3 practice stretch where he was dead cold. Where it didn't even look like he should be in the league cold. Like he had that stretch. Now you got 2 first-round picks. You got a quarterback class coming in 2026, week 1, looking kind of shaky. Looking kind of shaky. You might have your answer on the roster. It could be Gabriel. And you're not allowing him to get the competition to push his development. It could be Gabriel. This could be pro Gabriel. But allowing Shedeur to get those reps, that could be pro Gabriel. You know why? Competition. Pushing him. Pushing him. You're probably hurting 2 quarterbacks. You're probably hurting both of them. By not trying to See? Expediting the development. Competition brings it out. And we got to the point where that should have came out. Conspiracy theorist, how's that conspiracy theorist win? When I had the clips, all of them. After rookie camp, OTAs, and minicamp, before we had the break, before training camp, I did an hour video of all the Shedeur clips. All of them. And I had videos of Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, Flacco, throughout that time, throughout training camp. But man, where was you guys at when I had the Gabriel follies? Where was that at? And all I'm asking for during training camp, not now, during training camp, and I'm still bringing it up because I can. I'll get it out of you guys if you want to complain about it. Because I ain't complaining. All I'm asking for was just reps. Just reps. Just reps. And how I know and how I feel is because I sat there, refreshed the beat writers once Browns practice started. Once it started, sitting there in my chair, collecting clips, refreshing, watching the news, watching how things were unfolding, practice would sometimes start and end before you knew it. And I was like, well, that could have been a little bit longer. You could have gotten some reps with the ones. That could have happened. And it could have been just like 3 plays. It could have been 11 on 11, red zone work. Just, hey, get out there. Let's see. After he had, 30 practices, 40 practices, rookie camp, minicamp, OTAs, started training camp, 70% completion rate, 80% completion rate. That's it. That's all we're asking. We're not asking to start. We know it's Flacco that they're rolled with. That's okay. That makes sense. Some people argue against that, but that makes sense, right? Just some reps. Somebody earned it. Take the name out. Let's call it 3rd round pick versus 5th round pick, like I said last time. 5th round pick started hitting a 70-80% completion rate. 3rd round pick is hitting 20-30%. This is over a run of a week or so. And you're seeing balls get batted down. You're seeing all that. Next thing you know, you're looking at this and you're seeing the guy who drafted in the 5th round not get extra reps. We're not talking about moved over in the depth chart. Extra reps to see what you got. Extra reps, like you're not exploring it. And you got 2 first-round picks coming up next year with a quarterback class that looks like you got to tread water with. Like, there's some good players in it. There's some good ones. You got to tread water with it. Archie Manning ain't going to be out there. He's going to be looking at this situation and say, nah. Even if he sells out, plays well, rest of the year perfectly, wants to come out for the draft, Brown's got the first pick. He's going to look at this and say, no, I'm going to stay another year at Texas. Why take the hit on money? It'll be a little bit of race. Maybe, I don't know. Not exactly. But why put myself in that situation when I can just stay at Texas another year? Why do that? That's if in that scenario it plays perfectly. I don't see that happening. I see some more instances of what we saw on Saturday. I see people going in the comment section of the last Shedeur video, and people just jumping in other videos talking about Arch. I talked about him as, hey, he ain't coming out. That was my stance. I didn't really go deep into his prospect profile, what I was thinking, honestly. But honestly, from what I believe is he ain't coming out. Even if he plays well rest of the season, he ain't coming out, Browns fans. You ain't getting him next year. He ain't a Brown next year. That ain't happening. Even if he plays well, he ain't coming to the Browns. He'll stay in another year. Even if he plays well for the rest of the year. So you better figure it out with these quarterbacks. Or tread water really well with this year's quarterback class. It's probably going to be very tricky. You're probably going to be looking good on paper going into next year. But if you hit with one of those rookies, you got 2 first-round picks to build around them. You can get a wide receiver. You can get something nice to go with them. Maybe some extra weapons, extra protection for that quarterback. Shedeur. What if Gabriel exceeds expectations? You put him under fire with Shedeur, and he's like, hey, I'm going to win this battle. He plays his heart out. What if that happens? But you're naysaying, saying, hey, you shouldn't get the reps to push him for competition. You said that over training camp. That's over now. We got to see what happens in season. My prediction, it stays the same. We're going to see all 3 quarterbacks. And Flacco may exceed expectations. Look good for this year. It's eventually going to unwind. The Browns ain't going to make the playoffs. You're going to be seeing Gabriel out there sometime down the line. Ain't going to go good. You're going to see Shedeur out there. Really depends on how this team's holding up. It could be falling apart. Really depends on that. You're going to see all 3 quarterbacks out there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.